Hey Facebook friends, how you guys doing today? Today is another day and I thank you very much for joining me. So we're going to go ahead and continue on the dating with me. Of course, the reason I titled this one is dating with me is because I wanted, as a psychiatrist, I wanted to help all of our singles understand the process of dating. Now, again, I'm not talking to the marriage people, and if you're engaged, this is probably a good idea for you to look at the last one and today, because you want to make sure you're getting into the right relationship for the right reason, and so on and so forth. But for those who are single, let's talk about it in betterness of understanding part two of the psyche of the introduction. Okay, should be a short one, but we'll just take it for what it is, and let's go to the board. Okay. Other than that, I hope everyone is okay. All right, so we're going to talk about the dating with Dr. Bagley, the psyche of the intro. This is part two. And the last video, if you have not seen each one of these process, so keep in mind, these are the four ladies that I use as the example to talk about within the process of the introduction. So today, we're going to talk about woman who's emotional and man who has motives. All right. So what is a motive? First of all, motives is the reason for doing something. Okay. That's the motive. All right. So the emotion of the woman drives the decision and the motive of a man drives the decision. All right. So let's talk about that real fast. All right. So when I say the driving of the decision, so in the introduction, the very first time you see someone, of course, is stereotype. We're stereotyping one another. We look at them and say, I like you. Do I need to run from you? Do I need to fight you? Or do I need to mate you? That's that primal brain mechanism inside. Second, after you, of course, stereotype them, then you go in and you talk to them. You try to get their number, try to get their communications, and then you try to do a first introduction called date. But in this process, you got the first date and you're trying to now move past that. And you're trying to think, all right, I like this person or I don't like this person. But if I like this person, what's the next stage? What's the next thing? The next thing that you need to realize is very simple. What drives the relationship? All right, when it comes to the women, we all know, I shouldn't say we all know, I'm talking about the guy. We know that you ladies are very emotional. And because you're emotional, your emotion drives your decision. And a lot of guys, depending on who they are and what level of life they're in, they can manipulate your emotion to drive your decisions. But on the other hand, ladies, I think very few of you understand the guy. And the reason is because it's one of those top secret type things. It's really not, but I really haven't read any major books about these things. But the point is, the motive. I mean, what drives the man is motive. It is not emotion. If you think a guy is supposed to be emotional about you and your circumstances and your situation, sympathetic and all of those, no. A guy is classified as a dog because he's obedient, but he's non-emotional. It's all about motives when it comes to a guy. So when you have a guy and you're dating him and you want to know if he's serious for you or not, and so on and so forth, hey, how's it going to take a break here for boom? If you want to know if he's all about you or not, ask him one question. What's your motive of being with me? If he doesn't have an answer for you, then he does have an answer for you. A non-answer is an answer. So keep in mind, what's his motive? So if you look back on the last video, but the 34, the first lady, what would be my motive to be with her? Would she be someone that I want to just hang out? Would she be someone that I just want to be on my side, and so therefore I will pay for it? You know, that kind of thing. Or is it someone that I just want to use for sex? Or if I'm a man who's a minister of God, then I'm looking for a woman to be a minister of God's wife, kind of deal. Is that my motive? Or am I a man of God and I just need a side woman? What's my motive, right? If I'm a man who likes to go traveling and I need a companion for traveling, then my motive for a woman and how and what I'm looking for the woman for is the companionship of travel, not the marriage. Don't ever think a guy his motive is one thing. I like to go out. I like to have fun. Don't think if that's his motive, don't think that he's converting or he has some underline or you think you can convince him. No, no. If he's telling you my motive of being with you is, hey, let's just hang out for a little bit, then ladies, that's all he's telling you. That's all he wants. And if that's all you want and to hang out with him for a little bit, then that's fine. But if you're looking for a guy for a long-term relationship, and this is where it gets kind of tricky, you have to cipher through the guys in the older ages. And when I say older, let's talk about 30 plus. You have to cipher through the guys who knows how to manipulate your emotion by saying what you want to hear versus his motive of the reason why he's there. Now, the way you can do it is you have to be strategic with it. So let me give you a picture on the board of showing you what I mean about strategic. Okay, so just recap. So all four, when you talk to them, you got to have a comparison of goals, motives, desires. Then you have to understand traumas. What is his? Can you work with it without sacrifice and baggage? Everyone has baggage. Even if a woman doesn't have kids, she has baggage because she has parents. Okay, when it comes to a woman, we all know it's emotional that drives your decision. However, a man has a motive that drives his decision. And how do you counteract that, ladies? You have to be strategic. You cannot be emotional. You have to be strategic. So let me go back and let's talk about that. Okay. So strategic is the form. Let me put it to you this way. For all you ladies, 95% of you believe in a higher power, which is great. So just go to a Bible. I'm not asking you to be a Christian. I'm just asking you to go to the Bible and read a story called Ruth. The book of Ruth is very, very strategic in finding a husband without the emotion. If you don't believe me, I'm going to give you an outline of how that looks. Naomi is the mother-in-law. Ruth is the daughter-in-law. That both of their husbands passed away and they went to Naomi's home. Naomi said to Ruth, hey, I know a relative. His name is Boaz. Boaz is a businessman. Boaz is this. Boaz is that. Boaz is a drinker, partier, and all of those kind of things, but Boaz has money. Naomi told Ruth what to do, how to do it for a couple of years, and then strategically place herself in a position that Boaz will submit himself to Ruth for marriage. If you read that story, I'll ask you one simple question. Where's the emotion in this thing? None. There was only one time the woman was emotional. Ruth, I should say, was emotional. And that is in the beginning when her husband died and she did not want to go back to her hometown. That was an emotional situation. Everything forward of that story is strategic. So when it comes to dating, ladies, and we're talking again, when you're talking to a guy 30 and above, he knows that you are an emotional creature. And depending on the character of the person, he is going to manipulate your emotion. There is no way around that. uh, because he's trying to manipulate your emotion to figure out his motives of capturing you. And again, his motives might be simple. I just want to use you for sex. Or it might be, hey, I really want to love you and marry you. But how do you distinguish those two? When you one ask, dude, what is your motives with me? Why are you with me? Well, I'm with you because I love you. Well, that's a lie. He's not an emotional. He don't know what love is. All right, so don't go into that thing. But strategically, you want to find a guy who is a match for you, or you can match yourself to him. Strategic says that I'm an independent woman, but at the same time of my independency, I have to strategically go after and do the hunt. That's what strategic for a woman is. It's the hunt. It is a killing instinct of capturing, which is a lioness position, unlike a man who is a lion. But the man's lion is an alpha personality. A woman lioness is a mother who's trying to go for the hunt to take care of her babies for survival. So there's two different roles, even though it's the same species, two different roles. The mother lioness is a strategic planner teaching how to go do the hunt. Naomi and Ruth. Titus, New Testament, older women teach your younger women, wives, teach them how to love. Why you mind teaching you how to love? Because there was no love when you went to go get a husband. A lot of times it was fakes and so on. So think about the lioness position. She's strategically going out to get someone for the sole purpose of providing for her family, her children, and the lifestyle. That's strategic. So a lot of times she's going out to do things that other women around you will look at you and think, why are you doing this? Why are you sucking up to this guy? Stupid. They're stupid. They don't know nothing. Don't worry about them. You're strategic. You're going to go out and get a guy, do what you need to do, and derive him and mold him into what you need him to do. If it's marriage, you can do that. If it's just a hangout, if it's just a pleasure, sex pleasure, if it's whatever you want, strategically is you have to do a strategic to go get the man to counteract his motive. So, I'll give you an example. If you have a woman, if you have a guy, all he likes is sports. He gives sports more attention than he gives you. How do you strategically take him and mold him to what you need him to do? Very easily. Let me go back on the board and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So this woman is a nice woman. Let me put this in focus. Good. Her last statement was, want a good man to help me. In fact, not the she, but this one said it. This one said it. And then this one says, I'm looking for a partner. Okay, let's talk about that. When you come to strategicness, there's two parts. There's a exterior part of you, meaning there's how you act towards your guy. And then there is a interior of the ear. It is the whisper of the ear that will control or manipulate or strategically capture, however you want to look at it, to get the guy. If you, instead of saying, I want a man to take care of me, you can go to a man and says, do I not need taking care of? If you want a man to stop looking at football, be part of him in being in the football, and then ask him, is this football better than, or after this football, you think we can? Or it seems like a submissive position, but it's not. It's a strategic position. A great woman in all religions, they have a servanthood position, but its servanthood is the power. It is the strategic power. Give you another example. What is the virtuous woman? For those of you who don't know, get the Christian Bible and look it up in Proverbs 31. Somewhere in the 31 chapter, there is a description of the virtuous woman. The virtuous woman by nature is the one who gets up, takes care of her servants, her husband, and her kids, and they call her blessed. Why do they call her blessed? It's because she serves them. But in serving them is how you serve them. Serve your family, your man, and you can capture it. Give you another Southern saying. A way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Serving him will take care of it. But serving him just to be serving him is serving. Serving him for the sole purpose of a strategic plan, that's a lioness. Understand the two difference, everyone, ladies. So just to do a recap, and I'm kind of rushing, sort of, kinda, is because I want to go outside and go camping a little bit. Women, you guys are emotion. Be mindful. Stop the emotion aspect. And if you don't know how to get around that emotion, be strategic. What are you looking for? What kind of guy are you looking for? Go become that guy in his motive. Mold yourself around his motive, and then break him out of that motive through strategic means. And the best means out there is servanthood. It's not what you say, it's how you say, and figure out his weakness, if it's food, if it's sex, if it's whatever. Serving just to be serving is a servant. Serving to be with a strategic plan is a lioness. Men always go after you, not emotion, but motively. Understand what his motive is, and then you'll understand why he's with you, and then understand how to work with him. Other than that, that's part 2 of the introduction. Ladies are emotional. Guys are motive. How do you work it out? All right. If there's any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. Have a great, great day. Other than that, that's all I have. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, email me or message me. I'll be more than happy to talk to you guys offline, and we can go from there. All right. Bye-bye, guys.